welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. And here is one of my Brazilian rain trees. It's in its upset looking stage in that some people say that the plant just doesn't look very happy like this, but it's raining outside and I've got it inside. It really likes to be in the sun. And anyway, I've decided to repot it. This was, going to be like project number 10 for me. I discovered something this morning though that kind of moved it up onto my second on the list. But first I'm going to prune it just in the place that I got here before I repot it. I'm going to prune it in the idea that it's just, well, not the idea, it's going to mean that there's going to be less for the tree to support as it grows some new roots. So this was I'll link the video in the description. This was a failed air layer that it was an air layer I tried to take off of the mother tree that I have, and I thought it died, and so I just took and chucked it in this pot here with some Bonsai, with just some nursery soil, and it lived. I actually kind of repotted it and tried to get some better soil in there, which is the reason for the repot today. I have to take a look at it when we get in there, but right now I'm just going to that is a new shoot coming out from the trunk, which I do want some of that life down there, and I don't understand. It's back budding. It's kind of strange that it's back budding when I'm not even pruning it. I've been trying to let it grow, and it's been getting. Here's another bit of growth that's coming right out of the stump. It's got some little skinny growth out of nowhere. Not sure where some of that is, but let's see if I can pick a good branch to talk about directional pruning. I'm not going to prune it way up here, but let's see if I can get a better background on that. You can see here where it gets a leaf out of this side and a leaf out of this side and a leaf out of this side. If I cut it here, it'll die back to that leaf and grow that way. If I cut it there, it'll die back to that leaf and grow that way. And I see some people say that they're like scared to prune rain trees. You can't be scared to prune it, you just have to be prepared for the dieback. If I cut it right exactly on the leaf, it might start growing right there, or it might even die back to the next one. Now the idea is when you prune that you'd like to have it grow in the direction you want. You kind of want everything growing out into like a tree form. And so that's just what I keep in mind as I kind of go back in there. It's just something that comes with time. And I mean, I am trying to prune with some future shape in mind, but right now the idea is I just really want to downsize it quite a bit, so that when it's coming back from the stress of being repotted, it doesn't have so many leaves to take care of. Funny with this being the air layer that failed and I was able to get to survive. It's strange how 1 minute I'm just thankful it's alive, and the next thing you know I'm thinking I might be able to groom it into being one of my favorite trees. But I am just overall thankful that it's alive. I went to go check to see what was going on in here. I noticed that it's got a root ball on top. And what I tried to do the last time that I got into the root ball was I trimmed all the roots and then put some better substrate in the bottom of this pot and kind of rested this on top, and it just it's not as bad as I thought it was, but it looks to be only getting roots out of one side. And when I pulled it up to look at it, it did seem like it was in worse shape than that, but I'm going to go ahead and like I said, I was going to wait. This was like project number 10 on the list, but it is summer. It is the time we're supposed to be working on them, so I'm going to go ahead and work it now. Get in here. There's a couple different pots I was thinking of. I think I'm going to put it in this one kind of a rectangular training pot I had in mind. You know, the attempted air layer on this was just around a year ago, so if you really think about it, this is a cutting that is a year old. It's a good size cutting because I was trying to do the air layer on it, but and let me see what I got here. That's so when I popped it in this thing with the nursery soil, it was mainly, you know, it was like, well, here's this air layer that's dead, and I'll just pop it in here and maybe I'll get lucky. And I got lucky. I can't believe how much it's grown since then. Nothing but fine roots there. And then not down to much here. So I do want to take this out, that's on top there. If you guys can see the bottom of that or not. It's a little more of what I was trying to show you. Just got it nice and flattened out. Still good and healthy. So I thought it would have a little bit of a bigger root ball, but as I was reminding you, I kind of reminded myself that it is a cutting that is less than a year old. So you can see it's been sprouting some growth out of the trunk, which is good. Rain trees always have a problem with, as I can not get out of the way there. Rain trees always have a problem with taper, so at least I'm trying to avoid that issue. Here's the dead part that I was trying to air layer off, but that was the first little bit of life that sprung up, and then it got some more branching up here. Anyway, I got this deep training pot for it. You know, if this wasn't quite so deep, I'd buy 10 of them. This is a little bit too deep for how I want it, but actually going to work out pretty good for this. Gonna get it in there. I already have it like halfway full of soil. Just gonna kind of shove it in there a little bit. Wiggle it in some. And then when I backfill this now, especially since I've been using the higher quality soil, I'm gonna have to worry about rot or anything like that out of this. So I'm just pot it up high enough just to stabilize it in the pot. Probably not where I'm going to have the final trunk line. I'll probably have more of the trunk shown at some point. Still kind of in the mode of just kind of being happy it's alive kind of a thing. Now that I got it in there, I actually can see, I think I left a little bit too much weight on this side. I'm going to eliminate just a little bit of it. Yeah, toppled over there. Take just a little bit of that out. Balance it out a little bit that way. All right, I got a rock in there. Got in there pretty solid now. I might edit a little bit of that part out. I mean, I did make the mistake of thinking that it was a little more balanced than it was. I thought it'd have a little bit better balance when I put it in there, but I was editing this video and I realized that there was 2 or 3 things that I kept meaning to say and just never really came out. So I'm just going to reshoot the end here, and I hope I can find a place to fit it in right when I edit it. First off, I went ahead and I put it back out in the sun since I'm home, and generally speaking, I think the wildlife and stuff mostly comes out at night. And I kind of put it under actually that acacia tree to try to keep the birds off of it. But you can see the leaves are already popping back up, and it looks much better than it did when I had it in here. I had it in here, it was looking so sad. I was thinking these people are thinking I'm putting all this work into repotting a dead tree. But anyway, it is very much alive, very much in good shape. I was going to mention that was a good example of why slip potting is not very good. I see a lot of people want to use slip potting as a technique to get their trees in bigger pots. You really should just wait until it's the proper time of year for the tree you're working on and the climate you live in or whatever, and repot all the soil all at once, because that was a case where I had that nursery soil in the root ball on the top, and then I tried to just kind of put it in. I took it out, trimmed the roots a little bit, and put it in with some bonsai soil on the bottom, and then the 1 or 2 roots caught that better soil and just kind of went with it there instead of the whole thing at once, like it should have been had it been in the substrate all at once. And then the other thing I was going to mention is just that I had the rock in there to steady it because I did not tie it in.